Welcome to Amit Shakil's 5858 War and Love Report. I am Amir.
The Israeli government is set to meet in the coming hours to discuss its response to violent clashes between migrants from Eritrea. More than 100 people were injured in clashes between opponents and supporters of the Eritrean government and Israeli police in Tel Aviv.
Chaos descended upon the streets of Tel Aviv as Eritrean protesters clashed with the police. Anti-Eritrean government demonstrators came to the venue near their country's embassy, where a rival pro-government event was being held.
Why did they run from our country? Because of this dictator. Why are they celebrating here today? Why did the Israeli police give them a permit to celebrate for this dictator? We're against this. It's why I'm seeking asylum here.
The situation quickly spiraled out of control as the anti-government protesters started storming the venue, leading to clashes between the rival groups as well as the police. Police said they had not anticipated that much violence and had to fire live rounds and stun grenades, citing immediate danger to themselves.
Unfortunately, from the morning, both sides did not honour their commitments and did not abide by the protest permit granted to them. They arrived here early with the intention of disrupting the event. We had deployed reinforcements since early in the morning, as well as overnight, because we'd received information that they planned to set fire to the venue.
There are nearly 20,000 Eritrean migrants living in Israel, and they have stark divisions when it comes to their president back home. President Safar has ruled Eritrea in a one-party dictatorship for more than 30 years. Thousands of Eritreans flee the country every year, fearing repression and mandatory military service. And for many, exile has done nothing to lessen the differences over how they view their government, raising fears that more clashes like the ones in Tel Aviv could happen again.
And Rebecca Ritters is DW's correspondent in Jerusalem. Rebecca, hi there. Could you tell us a bit more about exactly what happened?
Sure, Jared. I mean, this protest really took people in Tel Aviv by surprise, and certainly took the authorities by surprise as well. As you heard in that report, as you were reporting in the lead-in there, more than 100 people were injured, including 30 police officers. Now, most of those police officers reported with bruises and scrapes from having rocks and other objects hurled at them. But a doctor did speak to local media saying that he had to remove a camping stove out of one of the police officers' heads and that he was in a very serious condition. So it kind of gives you a scale of what was going on there yesterday. Really violent scenes, as you can see in some of those pictures. Now, it had been allowed, this protest, and police were expecting it to become perhaps violent. They had water cannon and mounted police on standby. They were, of course, deployed, and stun grenades, tear gas, and even live ammunition, as you heard in that report, were also deployed to try to break up the protesters. Now, a doctor at one hospital said that he actually couldn't recall a time when he had seen events like that, the kind of injuries and the amount of people that were coming in from one incident within Israel, within Tel Aviv, and he had to look back as far as the early 2000s when the country was witnessing the Second Intifada, or the Palestinian uprising in those days. So that really indicates the level and the surprise that was taken by people in Tel Aviv who were going about their Shabbat this Saturday, a very quiet day in Tel Aviv. Now, police say at least 39 people have been arrested, and the calm was eventually restored. As you heard in that report, Eritreans make up a large percentage of the people seeking asylum in this country. It's very hard to get asylum. Many Eritreans live in very squalid conditions near and around in southern Tel Aviv, near the central bus station there, where the protest actually began from. Rights groups say they're often even harassed within and inside Israel from the Eritrean government and their supporters. And as you heard there earlier in that report, the government now, Benjamin Netanyahu, has called for a special team to look at what's going to happen and whether there'll be ramifications. Indeed, it does sound like there will be ramifications for some of the people involved. He said he was going to look at the measures to be taken against, and I quote, illegal infiltrators. So it is likely that something will happen to those involved and these people who already live in pretty precarious situations.
Rebecca Ritters in Jerusalem there. Rebecca, thank you so much. Let's go now to our correspondent Felix Maringa. He's following this story for us from Nairobi. Felix, there have been similar confrontations among Eritreans elsewhere, like in Germany, Canada, the US and Sweden, just to name a few countries. And tell us what's behind the unrest.
So there's two groups of people from Eritrea who are in different European countries. The first group of people are people who are loyal to President Isaias Afwerki, who has been in government for over 30 years. And those people who are loyal to him feel that they should continue spreading the Eritrean agenda out there so that they're able to raise money and support their families, support activities of people who are locally in Eritrea. Then there's the second group of people who have fled Eritrea because of repression. They fled Eritrea because of their families being targeted by the government. They fled Eritrea either because they did not agree with some of what the government wanted. They did not want to join military by force or something similar to that. So when these two groups of people meet, the group that fled the country feels like the people who are supporting the government are supporting an oppressive regime, are supporting a regime that has actually killed their families, are supporting.
Thank you for watching and privilege of your time. This is Amir Shakil 5858. I am Amir Goodman. Have a good life.